Today we start our discussion on energy. Right? So energy basically, it is the ability of an object or a body to do some work. So an object can do work only if it has energy, fine, and vice versa. So it has the energy would have same units as work done, that is joule. And the main thing that we are going to study under this topic is kinetic energy, then potential energy, and we are going to discuss the work energy theorem. That is something new which we will discuss. Work energy theorem. So kinetic energy is the energy associated with the motion of an object. So if an object is moving with certain velocity, then obviously we know that it can do some work. Say a car is moving, it goes and hits a pillar. So the pillar would break. So in this process, the car has done some work. So where did it get that energy to do work? So it had that energy to do work because of its state of motion. So the formula for kinetic energy is half mv square. This formula you have studied earlier in previous classes, but we will learn how to derive this formula, and we will derive this formula using simple basic mathematics, and then using equations of motion, and then we will do the same for a variable force by using calculus. So let's start with it, like how to find out the formula for kinetic energy using the calculus method. So we know work done is for when the force is variable. In that case, the work done can be calculated as integral of force dot ds with respect to small amount of displacement. Okay, so this is dw is equal to f dot ds is the small amount of work done. Then if suppose we consider body of mass m, it is at rest, and then we are applying a force F. This force F produces a displacement ds, and this displacement is in the direction of the force. So in that case, what would be the angle between force and displacement? What would be the angle between force and displacement? Come on, girls. You're applying a force like this. Object is moving in the same direction. What's the angle?
0 degree.
0 degree.
0 degree. Simple. Okay. So in that case, our expression for dw, that is small amount of work done, becomes f ds. Now it's simple, f ds. Okay. Now we have removed the dot product. Now force, we know, using second law of motion, we know that the formula for force is mass into acceleration. I can write it as m dv by dt. So what do? We put force as m dv by dt, and here we write ds. Anything familiar you can see here? ds by dt.
ds by dt.
Yes.
Man,
Now
some velocity. X.
yes, we replace ds by dt as v. So this expression becomes mv dv. Now we have to get the total work done. So total work done would be the integral of this small amount of work done. Right? So I integrate this expression mv dv for velocity going from a value 0 to any final value v. What would m is going to be a constant? What would be the integration of v dv?
V square by 2.
V square by
V square by
limits we can put as 0 to v. So this ultimately gives me the formula for work done as half mv square. Now it is this work done which will appear as kinetic energy of the object, right? So this work done would be equal to the kinetic energy. So the expression for kinetic energy becomes half mv square. So this is our expression for kinetic energy through calculus method. Now, if we want to do the same by simple equations of motion, then you can consider this. We already know the second equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2s. So from here we will find out the value of, put u as 0, initial velocity as 0. You will get the expression for acceleration as v square by 2s. Now use this expression. In the expression, work done is force into displacement. So when the force is in the direction of displacement, so this becomes, in place of force, I can write m into a into s. So put the value of a as we have found out from expression 1. So I put v square by 2s into s. And again, half mv square. This is our formula for kinetic energy. Okay? Got it?
And we can write any of the methods, right?
जनरली आपको अगर कैलकुलस से निकालना होगा तो आपको दिया होगा कि डू इट बाय कैलकुलस, बट अगर आपको नहीं दिया हुआ कि यू हैव टू डू इट बाय कैलकुलस, देन यू कैन यूज एनी ऑफ द टू. Okay, so along with this expression here, we can also see the expression for relationship between kinetic energy and momentum of an object. We know that momentum is m into v, mass into velocity of the object. Tell me, momentum is a vector quantity or a scalar quantity? Class 11, by now this ought to be on your tips.
Ma'am, vector quantity.
It's a vector quantity. Momentum is a vector quantity. So kinetic energy is half mv square. Momentum is m into v. Now, if I want to find out the relationship between kinetic energy and momentum, what I can do is multiply this expression by m and divide by m. So I get half m square v square by m. Now m square v square is nothing but your momentum square. So I get p square by 2m. So I get the relationship between kinetic energy and momentum. Kinetic energy is p square by 2m. And I can rewrite this expression as momentum is equal to root 2 times mk. Okay? So this is useful in many numericals. Generally, even in chemistry, this is useful whenever you are given the kinetic energy and you are asked to find out the momentum associated with a particle. Then you can use this relationship. Got it?
This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we come on to work energy theorem. Work energy theorem is like really simple. It states that whatever work is being done, whenever a force is acting on a body and some work is being done, then that work done is equal to the change produced in the kinetic energy of the body. So basically, this is work kinetic energy theorem. When we are taking into when we are considering that the object is only having no potential energy associated with it, and only kinetic energy of the object change as a result of applying force. Fine. So under those conditions, whenever a force changes the state of motion of an object, then this theorem states that the work done by net force is always equal to the change in object's kinetic energy. So whatever be the net work done would be equal to the final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Now, how do we go about proving it? And please mark it important. Often asked in the examination, work energy theorem. So how do we start from our third equation of motion? V square minus u square is equal to 2s. So we have to prove that when we applied force, which changed the velocity of the body, then the net work done turned up as change in its kinetic energy. So what do I get? V square minus U square is equal to 2s. So now multiply both the sides. Girls, give me a moment. Report to the AV room. Miss Kartika would be there. So I get V square minus U square is equal to 2s as our starting point. Now what I do is multiply both the sides of the equation by m by 2. So multiply by m by 2. मैम को बोल देना कि आई एम है उन्हें आ जाओ ठीक है ठीक है okay so we multiply by m by 2 so what do I get m v square by 2 minus u square by 2 is equal to 2as into m by 2 I think I made a mistake sorry m by 2 yes here I made a mistake so I get MAS as half m v square minus u square. We can see these as expression for kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial equals to this is m into a is nothing but your force into displacement. Okay, force into displacement is your work done. So I get final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy as the amount of work done by the net amount of force. So this basically proves our work energy theorem. Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this derivation might come, right?
Again, yes. But आपको ये देखना होगा, this is for a constant force. This derivation is for a constant force. ठीक है? आपको देखना होगा आपको क्वेश्चन में constant force दे रखा है कि variable force. Because the derivation changes slightly for variable force. Can you tell now that we have already done two derivations related to the same concept? How do we deal with constant force and how do we deal with a variable force? Can you now suggest that what would be work energy theorem for a variable force? How do we start proving it for a variable force? Here our starting point would be that small amount of work done would be F dot ds. See, whenever it's a variable force, we start with our calculus because in that the total work done would be given by as the integral of force and displacement. Okay, so we start with our small amount of work done as F dot ds. We consider that force and displacement are in the same direction, so this reduces to F ds. So then I get force as mass into acceleration. I can put it here. Essentially, if you see, I'm reducing it to the derivation for kinetic energy we did just now. So I can write m into a into ds. Acceleration can be written as dv by dt into ds. So ds by dt becomes mv dv. So again, the work done would then become kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. Once we integrate, we will again get the expression that work done is kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. This is nothing but your change in kinetic energy. So we get that the work done, the net work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy of the object. The only difference with the constant force is that here we start with an expression for calculus expression for work done. Clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So next is relationship between kinetic energy and momentum. So we have already done that kinetic energy is P square by 2m. The question says, if the linear momentum of a body increases by 20%, what will be the increase in kinetic energy of the body? So how will you do this?
Ma'am, as we know, it's 20% increased.
So let's see the increase in momentum. So delta P, what is the increase in momentum? 20%.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can write this as P by 5. So it has increased by a value of P by 5. So it means हमारा final momentum क्या हो गया? Initial momentum, that is P plus 20% of initial momentum. So this becomes 6P by 5. They are asking how much would my kinetic energy change if we are changing the momentum of, if the momentum is increasing by 20%. So first I'll see what is the final momentum. Now this means what would be the final kinetic energy of the object. So kinetic energy final would be final momentum, that is, let's call this momentum as P prime. Final momentum is P prime. So P prime square by 2m. ये समझ आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so now we'll put the value of P prime. That would be 6P by 5 whole square by 2m. So I get 36 by 25K. So this is my final kinetic energy. Okay, this is my final kinetic energy. Now
Ma'am, what will happen of 2m?
I have beta 36 by, okay, I have skipped a step. See, I can write it as 65 by 25 P square by 2m, right? If you see P square be, it has disappeared from the expression. So P square by 2m is my initial kinetic energy, you know? That's why
Yes, ma'am.
I'm writing the final kinetic energy in terms of initial kinetic energy. Okay, so now I get my expression for final kinetic energy as 36 by 25 times the initial kinetic energy. Now I have, knowing the final value, if I subtract from it the initial value, so let's subtract it, we will get what? We will get the change in kinetic energy. So kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial will give me the change in kinetic energy. Now, if I take the ratio of change in kinetic energy to the original kinetic energy, that would give me the required amount, because that's what they ask. What will be the percentage increase in kinetic energy of the body? So this would be 36 by 25K minus K. So this would be 25, 36 minus 25K. This would be 11 by 25K. So this is the change in kinetic energy, 11 by 25K. So I get
44%.
I get delta K
44%.
as, yes, coming to that, 11 by 25K. So this is giving me delta K by K as 11 by 25. Right? Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I have to calculate the percentage, I just multiply the expression by 100. That would give me, yes, 11 by 25 into 100 would be 25 into 4, okay, 44%. Got it? Next is a block of mass m equals to 1 kg moving on a horizontal surface with speed 2 meter per second enters a rough patch ranging from x is equal to 0.1 meter to x equals to 2.01 meter. They've given us the retarding force, which is inversely proportional to x. So retarding force is minus kx. So they've given you the value of force. between two intervals, between 0.1 to 2.01, and in intervals greater than 0.1 and greater than 2.01. Now what they want you to find is what is the final kinetic energy and speed of the block as it crosses this patch. So here we use work energy theorem. What we will say that the change in kinetic energy would be equal to the net work done. So that means kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial would be equal to the work done, that would be F dot dx going from initial to its final value. Now what you have to do is this FR value you will substitute as per these two intervals. In the interval from 0 to 0.1, you will put the value of F as 0. In the interval 0.1 to 2.1, you will put the value of F as minus K by X. And again, in the interval greater than 2.01, that means from 2.01 to infinity, you will put the value of FR as 0. So obviously we can see first and third interval. This would reduce, the expression would reduce to 0. So it is only the interval from 0.1 to 2.01. There I put the value of FR as minus K by X, that would be able to survive. Okay? So I get change in kinetic energy as minus K by X times integral dx. So this would be, if you remember, 1 by x dx, the integral is log x. Log x. So I get, so now I hope now you would be able to solve it, because kinetic energy final we have to calculate. So kinetic energy final would be, if I take kinetic energy initial to this side, it will get added up, and we have been given the initial speed 2 meters per second. So you can put the value of initial speed as half mvi square as 2 meters per second. That would give you the initial kinetic energy. Add to it the value of this. So this becomes half mv square minus k times log x. Log x value goes from 0.1 to 2.01. So this becomes, this would be 2 minus k की value दे रखी है 0.5. So this becomes log 2.01 divided by 0.1. Log A minus log B is equal to log A by B. Please use this. Log A minus log B is equal to log A by B. Fine. So now we just have to put the values of log 2.01, log and 0.1. Either log table would be given to you or the values would be given to you. Natural log. Okay. So natural log, if I have to convert it to base 10, I multiply it by 2.303. It is always easier to work in base 10. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
In fact, log 2.01 divided by 0.1 क्या बन जाएगा बताइए? Log 20.1 बन जाएगा ना? So you basically just have to look at the value of log 20.1. If you remember, I told you how to find out log of 20.1. अगर हम देखेंगे, we have to shift the decimal to 1 to this side. So we saw that how do it be? There was a characteristic part and there was a mantissa part. Mantissa part we directly read from the log table. Characteristic part is by what value do I need to shift the decimal, whether I need to shift the decimal to the left or whether I need to shift the decimal to the right. So here this decimal will be shifted to the, batao, this decimal would be shifted to the left or right, so that it can be reported only with a single decimal point. So it has to be shifted to the left. So the characteristic would be 1.9. now 20, we will see 20 under the header 1. If anyone is having their practical file handy, they can see what is the value of 20 under the place value 1. So whatever is that number, that would come here. Okay? Please revise all these things. How to find out the log. I spent one full class in discussing the log tables. Okay, I'll read it out for you. So 20 under the header 1 gives me 0.3032. So the value of log 20.1 becomes 1.3032. So my final expression would become half MV initial square, that is 2, minus 0.5, that is the value of K, into 2.303, that is the value of your, when we converted natural log to base 10, into 1.3032. So this would, if we subtract this, we would get our final value of kinetic energy.